Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for doing the most, and we're back to being a Premier League show. Well, back to doing the most, being a Premier League show. It is game week 1. So for those that have never seen doing the most before, obviously I got to introduce myself. Brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. Let me bring on the panelists as well. Ahmed is in the building. Jez is in the building as well. But for those that haven't seen doing the most, it's where we look back at the weekend's games just gone. Then it's 5 different categories. So myself, Ahmed, and Jez, and all of you lot in the chat will discuss nominations, and then we'll run a poll, and then myself, Ahmed, and Jez will all pick our winners, and then we let you lot in the chat vote on the polls. So the 5 different categories are the most unforgettable goal, the most unpredicted result, the most unacceptable error, the most under the cosh manager, and the most untouchable manager. So most unforgettable goal, self-explanatory. Most unpredicted result explains itself as well. Most unacceptable error must have led to a goal for the opposition. So the goalkeeper can't be playing the ball out from a goal kick, pass it to the striker, and the striker puts it over the bar. That can't work. Most under the cosh manager must be the manager must have drew or lost. Can't be a manager that won a match. And the most untouchable manager on the flip side is someone who he can't have lost. So for instance, say Manchester City had lost, that could potentially make Pep Guardiola a candidate for that. But that doesn't mean Pep Guardiola is going to get sacked, people. It's for the weekend's games just gone. I will explain all this again. Big up to everyone who's locked in as well. Bump up the likes. Make sure you share this across all the socials and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into the show, though, we will answer your sporting questions. Answer your Premier League questions, sorry. I know you lot have plenty to say as well. But let's bump up those likes, share across all the socials, and subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV. Ahmed, what are you telling me, though, before we get into the show? You good?
No, listen, man. Before we get into the show, man, let's not talk about myself, man. Let's talk about you, my friend. Because what you did today, mate. What you did today, man, was a Hall of Fame performance, man. You know what I'm saying? I have not seen anything like it. I swear to God, mate, I have not seen anything like it. It was so nasty, bro. I don't know where to even start to begin with. But man, we need to give you a round of applause, man. We need to give you a round of applause for that, man. Man, we need that, man, because that was sensational, mate. Sensational, man. I can't lie to you. What I saw on the Battle of the North today was, I don't know, bro. That was crazy, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Hey, for those that don't know what he's talking about, it's obviously Battle of the North, and it was with London Club's Carnage as well, so it was a mix. Obviously on Matisse's channel, I'm going to add it to the playlist on here because there is a Battle of the North playlist. But I was over there, Matisse, Hassam, who he's talking about, very stressed about the ongoings at Liverpool, Daps, Lawless, Dan Potts as well, all over there. But make sure you subscribe to at the Bridge 258 as well. Jez, what are you telling me? You good?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Just want to let's get the show started, man. Let's get
man, we're going to get into it.
Good to actually talk about football again on these shows, other than just repeated stuff again.
Yes, 100%. Like it is. It's good to have like doing the most back as a Premier League show as well. As much as I enjoyed the sort of transfer window version of this show. Big up to Shakara, I see you. Big up to Adam as well, MUFC. Big up to Thomas, I see all of you lot as well. Big up Joe R, good to see you back in the chat as well. Warrior J says, actually I didn't know this. Big up Jacob. Rafael Varane and Wylecha came off at halftime. A little problem on his ankle tendon. We'll see, but I don't think it's a big deal. We'll see how it is this week. I presumed it was an injury. And big up to Eddie, who's in the cut. Man said not a foul, stand on it. I respect the shamelessness. I do respect the shamelessness. Obviously, Manchester United just beat Wolves 1-0. So the vast majority of the conversation and questions are about that. So I will get to them as well. To Faisal, who says, oh, Nana was playing in WWE today. Should have been a foul. United, instead of buying players, now are buying the ref. Wolves were robbed today. Let me get to a few things here. One, to everyone who's crying about it, hold that. I love it. I absolutely love that people are crying about that Manchester United win. Bear in mind, I agree with you, Faisal. Was it a foul? Yes. I said this on the watch along, and I'm saying it now. Was it a foul? 110%. It's not Manchester United's job to referee the game. So when you say, oh, we're buying the refs, like we haven't seen referees week in, week out for years now. If you've been watching football for any significant amount of time, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, maybe even longer, 30, 40, 50 years. One thing that all football fans are united on, no pun intended, is referees are not very good. That's the one thing solely. No matter who you talk to, you get a United fan, there's a Chelsea fan, Spurs fan on this panel. We all agree the standard of refereeing is not good. So therefore, the referee made a poor decision. Was it a penalty? Yes. That's not Manchester United and an old. So we're supposed to go no ref. That's definitely a penalty. He made a poor decision. Take that up with him. Hold that, Faisal. Hold that. Stuart says, don't overreact, guys. We was poor, I agree, but United always start slow. Even under Sir Alex, just remember we still ain't got a striker and 8 finished in the window. I don't think it's a question of overreacting, but then again, it depends who you're talking to. The reason why I didn't get mad and I didn't get upset, because I've been saying the same thing all summer long, to the point where I think it was Jez dropped a comment in the group chat running jokes about it. It was either him, it might have been C1, a few others said it. It was you. Yeah, it was Jez who said it. And he repeated my line. Where are the creativity and the goals coming from? Everybody was like, mount this, mount that. We got Bruno, we got Rashford and Garnacho and Anthony. I stand on what I said.
We're going to beat them 4-1. We're going to beat them 4-1.
We're going to beat them when people saying 3-4-0.
3-0. 3-0.
People talking about title charge. You need 90 plus goals to be in the conversation. Is that team getting 90 plus goals? And I hear you, Stuart. A striker adds to that. Do I think Højlund makes an impact? Yes. But in terms of winning anything, and that's the main conversation in terms of major trophies, no, this team is fine. That's why I didn't even get mad or upset. When Varane scored, it was more relief than it was joy. Like, I'm happy we got the win, of course, but I'm saying at the initial moment. But that team is still far away. And I think Ten Hag will have to rectify some of his mistakes in the next window. I think Mount's a mistake he'll have to rectify next window. Anthony could be, but I'm giving Anthony this season. But up until that point, up until the end of the season, then it's like, all right, that's when I'll be like, he's good enough or he's not good enough. Everyone else pretty much. And yeah, Jason, I just answered your question in regards to United fans. Where do you stand with Anthony? This is the season for him to deliver. Yeah, go on.
Sorry, I was just doing something about Anthony, and I'll say sorry.
Yeah, what was you doing? I don't know what that was. Yeah.
Okay, listen, man. I watched the game. I watched it quite detailed. You know me, United number one. No, United's number one up. No, United's number one hater. But me and Flawless, yeah, but Flawless knows. Flawless, me and Flawless agree on this. We already knew, bro. Mount, Bruno, and Casemiro midfield is not gonna work. Like, I don't know how many times we need to see it in 4K HD. Like, it's not working, bro. Like, Wolves were having fun in the middle, bro. They were literally just walking through your midfield like this, bro. They were just walking past it, bro. Like, guys, man, them need to think about, Casemiro's hamstrings, bro. Like, what's going on, man? Like, protect my guy's hamstrings first and first. Secondly, Garnacho wasn't his best game. I'll be honest with you, wasn't Garnacho's best game. But again, he's a young player. Sure, he's gonna need time at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to for me when it comes down to Garnacho. Anthony, I'm starting to question what is the difference between Anthony and Ziyech. I said it last season for fun, and this season, like it seems like it's continuing on. Like Ziyech and Anthony, bro, they might as well just be he might as well just be called a Brazilian Ziyech, bro, at this point, because that's all he does. Literally, bro, he's just a Brazilian Ziyech. All he does is every time cut and shoot on his left foot. It's almost cash money that you know what he's going to do.
I wish he actually did that more today in terms of shooting, but I hear your point. Go on, carry on.
And listen, at the end of the day with United, bro, like Onana, man, I can't lie to you. He seems like, from what I've seen from when he was playing out the back, looks great. I like some of the stuff that he was doing from there, but he does have that the bozo gene that people have been saying about him. I'm starting to see, he seems a bit like, tapped in the head at times. Like, he needs to, calm down a bit, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was technically a penalty, if you're being honest.
Oh, yeah, of course it was a penalty. In regards to Onana, because obviously I'll talk about this on Man United later on, but it's technically technically Monday now, so I will speak on this more in depth. But yeah, Onana, I have no issue with... Tuesday, sorry. Yeah, Tuesday. Like, the take for the cross right there, the end was fire. There's one that a cross got whipped in from the left-hand side, and he dived out and caught it, and he was brave. I'm with that. So, yeah, but in regards to Anthony, I've said it before, I'll say it again, it's make or break he's where I had Sancho last season. Sancho was in that same bracket. I was like, second season, you got to deliver. Sancho didn't. Now I'm at that with Anthony. So I'm not just going to write him off from one game. I've seen enough fundamentals to go, all right, I give you a second opportunity. But now it's on you to do the business. And if you don't, I'll be where I am with the rest of our attack, bar Marcus Rashford and Højlund because he's new. Get rid of him. Garnacho, calm off the bench. No issues with that. But I'm talking the senior players in our attack. Let's see what else you lot are saying in the chat as well. Adewale says Bruno so trash now. We got Mount even worse, but we knew this beforehand. Adewale. The thing is, this is not anything new. We knew this. Well, I knew this, and this isn't nothing genius. I'm not no footballing expert to know Bruno's not very good and Mount's not very good. Like this is what I didn't get when people were trying to argue me. Oh, Mount this, Mount that. No one's saying that now. One game in and that disappeared quick.
Bro, they got
No one's
some
saying
crazy
shit.
stat on the
Quick.
body, you know. Did you see that stat I sent in the group chat for all us about Mount?
Nah, go on. What was the stat?
Talksport.
No, what was
It was
about?
like he had all zeros, bro. He had like literally all
yeah.
zeros. Oh my god!
And you know the crazy
That was
part about it
nuts.
is, Ahmed, I'm not even mad or surprised about it because I know Mason Mount's level. I know his level, so therefore, why am I going to get mad when I know you're just not very good?
Exactly.
I just know you're not. I just know it's like playing Ryan up front in Saturday League and saying, "Get me 30 goals a season." It's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So why am I gonna be shocked? Never. Like what we talking about? Never ever. You know what I'm saying? Like. But yeah, I wanted to get to this from Joao, who says Varane was solid as usual. Honestly, one of the most underrated players in the league. There's this false sense around him being way past his best, still elite. Because what it is with Joao, and I agree with this, reason why there's a conversation about Varane is because he's not because he's a Rolls Royce defender and he's not Martinez in terms of all action on the front foot, aggressive. It doesn't seem he's doing a bit. He's consistently good. Varane is 7 out of 10 or better 99.9% of the season. Minus, I think, the Liverpool game. There wasn't one game last season where I go, he was bad. He's just consistently good. But because he goes about his business quietly, people try and shit on him. Varane's been quite... Today, he was solid. Even though we weren't at our best, Varane didn't do nothing wrong. Even outside of scoring the winner. Like, Varane was fine, yeah. So, I hear that. I wanted to pull that up. Joao says, what's up, bro? We look as the same as last season. Mount and Bruno don't fit. They're both the same player. There's such an imbalance. I don't think Eriksen is good anymore, but he plays a separate role. The thing is, Joao, we knew this beforehand. Because like I said, I am no footballing expert. I am no footballing manager. I am no footballing scout. And I've been saying this. I said this when Mount was at Chelsea. I said they're the same. Because I'm talking to Chelsea fans like Ahmed and other like Lewis and Surfer and others. And I go, when they criticize Mount, it sounds like me talking about Bruno. And then on the flip side, when I heard Chelsea fans praising Mount, I was like, shit, that sounds like Manchester United fans praising Bruno. Why do we have to see shit in 4K, like Ahmed said earlier, to go, right, this don't work. It was never going to work. And I'm not just going off just one game because we could beat Spurs next week and they play well. I still stand on it. I'm talking long-standing. That performance is not sustainable in terms of winning major trophies. Now, could we finish in the top 4 with it? Could we win an FA Cup or a League Cup with it? Absolutely. Absolutely. But in terms of challenging for major honours, not a prayer. Not a
You know what,
prayer.
bro?
Big
I'll
up
be
there,
honest,
Rosa.
man.
Go on.
Can I just say that? Like the top 4 thing. I actually, I'm not sure on that one still. Because if you look at them, because like if you look at it now, Chelsea's midfield, like our midfield now, it's like right with Lavia, Caicedo, now Enzo, that midfield, I would that probably matches up just to your current midfield. If not, it's a bit better.
Yeah.
You look at City's midfield, you look at Arsenal's field, I would argue. And then who else am I missing? Even I think Tottenham's midfield right now is a bit more, I think, stronger than yours. So
for me, I'm sorry, sorry, I've been
That's
saying
right,
this
bro.
argument already. I don't. Okay, the third midfielder. Okay, fair enough. We don't have really somebody certified yet there. But for me, Bissouma and Madison alone, that's a better midfield than having Casemiro, Mount and Bruno.
Bro.
And the thing is, I rate Casemiro. Like Casemiro is the best one out of all of them as an individual, but as a unit, Bissouma and Madison make the midfield so much better than Mount and
As a unit, yeah, I
Bruno,
get that.
and Bruno that's with Casemiro, right? Because today, bro, like, do I think Casemiro himself didn't look great today? Yeah, but when you look at Mount's average position today, bro was thinking he was a striker. Like,
Facts.
look at his positioning. He is dead as the furthest player upfield, but you're supposed to be at 8. Whereas Rashford in these type of situations, you're supposed to be there. And like Rose said, it didn't take rocket science to think that this midfield doesn't feel as. And we can when people can come and say, it's only one game. It's This is the problem. Because at the first time, people will say it's only one game. Then it's 2 games. Then it's 10 games. and then you start to realize, you know what? Maybe Ten Hag was wrong about it, because both of
and,
them,
and that's okay.
and this is the thing, and it's okay because my thing with them is, as well, especially with Bruno and Mount, they want to occupy the same position. They want to occupy the same type of situation. They want to be in the same type of situations and making plays. You can't have two midfielders like that within your spine trying to do the same thing. You just can't. It's just gonna be all a mess in my opinion. You can say, yeah, Højlund wasn't there. Maybe if Højlund wasn't there and Rashford was on the left, maybe it could have been different. I disagree personally.
Yeah, definitely. No, I hear that. Before we continue though as well, let's bump up the likes. There's over 80 people in the building. Like check 1212. We ain't even got into the show yet. So get scales up to 50 likes, people. Let's bump up those likes. Hit that subscribe button as well. I don't know how many subscribers we're on, but I know everybody watching right now or watching live has not hit that subscribe button. So make sure you do so and hit that notification bell and subscribe to Ahmed's channel. The link is in the title. The link's in the title. Opens up a new tab right now and go subscribe to At The Bridge 258. We're at 7,662. Asking for 3 more subscribers. Get us to 7,665 as well. To David, who says, Flawless, what do you expect from Manchester United in the Champions League this season? Quarterfinals. Get out of the group stages. Win 1 knockout round. Quarterfinals. And to Nathan, who says, this is why this PMP ain't what it seems. The ball moves faster than a player on the pitch. This is such a incorrect statement because where's the pace and power in the team? Where's the pace? Someone tell me, where's the pace and power? Bruno's not pace and power. Mason Mount's not pace and power. Anthony's not pace and power. Garnacho's like electric pace, but not power. So it's only Rashford in our front 5. So why, again, people making these... I don't understand this statement, Nathan. Where's the pace? You tell me which 5 of those players I mentioned that you think have pace and power. This is why I said I like that style, but we don't. Mason Mount was the wrong guy for this. We could have went out and got better. Why do you think I like Amrabat? I'm like, cool. I like that. That's why I'm sold on Onana. Onana from Everton for those, so you don't get confused. Højlund adds into that. When they asked Ten Hag about Højlund, first thing he said was, oh, what do you like about him? His directness, his physicality. That's the way we're going. These players are not good enough. We know this. Big ups to C24. He says, yeah, go on, fam, go on.
And by the way, the narrative as well that like are only PMP. You can have PMP, but to be also technically well. I think people kind of both. I think people misconstrue these things or kind of misunderstand these things. Like nobody's saying, oh, you just want PMP, or you would have just kept Dan James.
Exactly. And he's just
the point. That's the point. Exactly. So yeah, it's not just all about having the power and the pace. It's also about having the technical ability. For example, like let me think. Saka is a prime example. Saka and Martinelli are prime examples of this. And we're talking about how Arsenal is the best team, second best or best team in the league for some people.
Well, that's into big up to C24 says big up Flawless the bully. I ain't no bully, man. I don't like that tag. I don't bully anyone. I was just asking questions and I'm presuming you're talking about Battle or not. I was just making statements, giving my opinion and asking questions. That's all it was. To Justice who says anyone that bought a Chelsea player in the summer and if they're playing in your midfield is mid. Absolutely. Mount. Havertz, both. I agree with that. To Jack who says Flawless who is creating chances for Højlund. Dreadful performance today. Hey Jack. Your answer, your guess is as good as mine because I've been asking that question. I've been asking that question, so I'm not sure. No, I can't say so.
I can tell you, man. I can tell you. I think Garnacho is going to be making some. Bruno Fernandes is going to be making some. I think Anthony, man, if he starts whipping it a bit more, just towards the side of the box, he could be hitting volleys there too. Mason Mount half time. Obviously, no. Seriously, though, it is like basically. If I'm being serious, barring like obviously maybe Bruno, who's like who we can technically say can provide something. You're in big trouble. I'll be honest. You're in big trouble.
Yeah, you telling me? But hey, according to my certain fans who go back and forth with me in here, even though 99.9% of them are missing out, we can create and challenge. Yeah, but we go on.
The thing is with me is here. And we talked about it as well on streams. Ten Hag wants definitely to. He talked about it. Obviously, he didn't say it only that because he went into that in more detail. But I did see talking about how in preseason how he wants United to be one of the best transition teams in the league. He wants that team to be, and you can see like When United have to counter attack, it looks dangerous. Even if the end product is not there, it looks dangerous. But when they're in possession and have to pin teams back, it's just clueless, bro. And you know the issue with that one is United are not playing the type of football where you have to sit back and counter attack against everyone in the league. Because United, most teams will sit back against United. It's only the bigger teams like City, maybe Newcastle, Arsenal, who else? Liverpool, all
Spurs,
Chelsea.
Spurs, always this version of Spurs now too. All these teams they want Chelsea. I need to see how Poch wants to do it, but you can add Chelsea as well to it. So of course, against these teams, United can do a lot better. But you saw today, Wolves, they're playing like a low block, mid block. United couldn't do shit. Nobody's creating. Nobody's.
But that's the
getting
problem.
close to the
But
goal.
that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. Because the thing is, Mount, he wasn't Chelsea. If you remember, we were prolifically bad at low blocks. It was literally Chilwell cross, Reece James cross to unlock it. Literally, that's what it used to be. Well, Jorginho over the top ball.
And even I think maybe, and I would not that I want to call up Ten Hag on that, but I think it's and maybe it's just the players or it's the manager instructions because, bro, Wolves was just having their fun when it comes to the counters. Every time it looks like they were going to score, but the clinicalness was not there. Every time, like the midfield was open, Casemiro was running after shadows. Like it was just a mess. And to be honest, like I agree with Ahmed earlier when you were talking about Onana. For me, he was the man of the match. But after Onana, I can tell you several amount of Wolves players that I would say who had, if you had to rank the best players of today's games for both teams altogether combined, it's Onana. Then a bunch of Wolves players I say before I say United player again. This whole bad it was, in my opinion. But hey, it could be also just the first game.
That's why I'm not overreacting too much. And to RSV, speaking of that, says Eric Ten Hag needs to get sacked for signing Mason Mount. Giving him the automatic number 7 shirt resembles Maguire automatically getting a captain. What was Ten Hag thinking? His talent ID is suspect. This is a classic overreaction. Being sacked because you disagree. I disagree with the Mason Mount signing. Still disagree with it. I know I'll be proven right on it. However, him being sacked because of it and giving him the number 7 shirt, no, that's not a sackable offence because managers are going to do that. In regards to his talent ID being suspect, most of his signings have hit. Minus Anthony, all of his other signings have been good at best. I mean, good at worst. Martinez, Casemiro, Malacia, Ericsson have all been good at the very, very worst and all contributed towards having a good season last season. So this is an over-the-top reaction of what I'm talking about. Let's talk about the game. Let's talk about the game. But Ten Hag, in terms of his talent ID being suspect, minus Mount, which I agree with, minus Anthony, which I'm 50-50 on currently, that's not too bad. So he's got, let's say we've 7 out of 9 have hit. That's a great conversion rate. Or however many players we signed. Yeah, he'll get sacked exactly. He'll get sacked if he doesn't, just quickly from Jack, if he doesn't get results on the pitch like any other manager. He won't get sacked for making a bad signing. Every manager makes bad signings. We watched Pep sign Calvin Phillips. And Claudio Bravo and Nolito. What are we talking about? Yeah, go on, just say what he's saying.
Now, what I was saying is that do you think, and I think this is something that I think will be a big struggle for United in terms of like, and I think I was thinking about the general, whoever they're going to sign. I feel like people got adjusted in terms of Ten Hag. We're like, okay, we kind of know what you're trying to do. We can adjust better than we did last year. Because I feel like a lot of managers do have the benefit sometimes of they just coming in and people just don't know what you're doing. So it's done. But then also in the same time, I think not only the manager, but then also the players have to step it up even more because everybody know what you want to do now. Like, because even Pep and Klopp, they had to adjust. They had to adjust even a couple of seasons what they were trying to do the first things, especially Pep. Like Pep is not playing the same way as he was playing when Sterling and Sane and everybody was there. He adapted his game multiple times even. When he had to, we went from Aguero to Foden in the false 9. He's playing 4 centre backs in each position. Like, and I feel like Ten Hag will maybe come through the situation again where he gets challenged about these type of things in terms of having to maybe adjust his tactic as well. Because I think people are gonna finding a way of how to best deal with United in terms of a blueprint. Once you do that, that was one of my biggest issues, for example, with Conte last season because he was found out clearly and he refused to work on it.
Yeah, like that's what it is. Like you have to adapt, and that's what he's doing. So that's why I'm not fussed as well.
One thing I would just say,
And just let me get
Okay.
to a couple of things from Jesters as well. Big up Jesters in the cut each and every time as well. And he says, play Sancho on the right and let him create. Anthony was crap today. Sancho's not a winger. I don't know how much times we need to see Sancho in this league, playing this team, and realize that he's not good enough as a wide player. I think as a centre forward, maybe it can work as a false nine. But that being said, Ten Hag dropping him today lets you not dropping him because he's not dropped because it's the first game of the season. But Ten Hag not starting him today tells you where he's at.
He's not in the picture.
Ten Hag tells you where he's at, that he chose to go with, whether you think it's right or wrong. Garnacho and Rashford is the nine. It tells you where Ten Hag's at with Sancho, which I would have personally started Sancho. But I'm not going to fight for Sancho to start because he's been here and not performed. So this whole thing of, playing Sancho, and we've watched Sancho play. So I don't understand this. And in regards to taking shots at Martinez, like he don't start for Chelsea, but that's a whole different conversation. Did he get injured or get hooked? He was injured, ankle injury. He got injured.
Yeah,
I saw like United Spurs of America say, I fully expect ETH and United to come along well. They sort of have to, don't they, with the money spent. And the thing for me is, even if you spend that money, it doesn't necessarily go to lead to success. When you look at United here and like the run they had towards the end and like what's going on now, I was saying this in the group chat to Jez, like it kind of reminds me of like Spurs under Conte, where you guys were getting that, that one goal to win the game, but you weren't playing great. Eventually though, the luck runs out, you know what I'm saying? Eventually your luck runs out. And this idea of like United playing transitional thingy football, and everything, you're not gonna. The majority of the league is playing low block to mid block football. So unless you can break them down in some way, shape, or form, it's not looking good, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
Unless you're letting those teams who you can easily hold the ball against, let the ball, give the ball, and you wanna, because this is what Conte did last season, where most teams he would let the team just have the possession, but in reality, we were too good to even let certain teams have the possession. And that's why we were struggling to even sometimes counter to begin with, because people knew what we could do. But then again, like I said, it's the first game. Let's see. But Peter had this. I had my talks with Peter about it already last season, these type of conversations in terms of like United, we could potentially see maybe found out in terms of, and maybe then Ten Hag having to adapt. But again, it's the first game of the season.
It's the first game.
I think the only two positive, if I was a United fans taking off today, is Onana's great. Onana's great, and you won the game.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it is into RSV. And yeah, Peter, Sancho on the right is this real life. I don't get that either. Yeah. We let Wolves, a team that are so bad, only with a couple of good players who are good individually, come to OT and dominate us for the full 90 minutes. Yeah, and they lost.
This shows you more about your team, though.
Yeah, they lost. Like people talking about, and CAA Mafia says United made Cunha look like prime Thierry Henry until he missed from 2 yards. Like people forgetting that. Until he missed from 2 yards out. That's not our fault. Like this whole thing of, United, we didn't rob no one. Did we make Cunha miss from 2 yards out? Like, what are we talking about? Like, let's not overreact. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not do that. Let's not overreact. And yet, to man who said it, David said in the chat, Sancho was decent when he came on. I agree. I wasn't talking about Sancho in today's game. What Justice says was Sancho should play on the right. That's what I was pushing back on. Anthony may not be the answer. But you know who I know is definitely not the answer? Sancho. Wide. If he's playing as a false nine, cool. Him out wide is not going to work, in my opinion. How many more games does he need to play before people go, this don't work? And if Anthony don't work, go get another one. Exactly. That's what it is.
This is the thing. Like people trying to do this thing where like, okay, this combination until it works out. But in reality, these guys it's just a pack of, I said it last season. There's a lot of these attackers. It's just they're all 2 packs of ass.
Yes, they're just not good enough. Like that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that. And to someone saying, let me get to it as well. You like, United was a robbery. How was a robbery by us? It's not our fault. Spurs can't finish.
I mean, Wolves.
Wolves can't finish.
Yeah, and the referee just missing a clear foul there.
Yeah, and that's on the ref being poor refereeing decisions. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't do nothing. Also, like that's just. But yes, David, Sancho was decent when he came on. Yeah, that was it. He says United pulled off another heist. You criminals should be ashamed. Why should we be ashamed? Because Cunha missed from 2 yards out. How's that our fault? Someone explained to me that he couldn't score from 2 yards out. Because for you, guess what? Varane got 6 yards out with a header and scored. This is the only chance we created. One ball from Bruno Wan-Bissaka with a nice little dink into the middle and Varane with a header. That's not our fault. Did we play well? No. I'm not going to defend that, but I'm not going to say, oh, yeah, we should be ashamed. No. How are we criminals? What did we do wrong? Apart
But
from
you know what
not
it
perform
is. You know what
well.
it
Yeah,
is.
like we didn't perform well, but like I've been saying for the longest, our team is not very good. Notice no one in the chat has asked me about, oh, can United challenge anymore? Let us have won 4-5-0 today. That would have been a conversation and a question I'm answering today and on Man United and throughout the week. If we would have won 4-5-0 today, I look great. See, this is why we can challenge and that.
Hey, like, you know what, man?
Go on, fam.
You know what, man? But they look good in preseason. They got the result.
Yeah, preseason hype, innit? Preseason hype. I was saying that. Preseason, what we talking about? Yeah.
Well, yeah, man.
What are we talking about?
Which is the funniest thing about it yesterday, because I saw a lot of United fans yesterday talking about our performance. Spurs are not great. We're gonna eat. Of course, I guess the highlight that of course United gonna eat. But I was watching this today and I was thinking like, so United fans were really just cooking us yesterday for how we play against Brentford, by the way, who is not an easy team to play against. Like Wolves, it's the first day of the season. But a lot of United fans told me, oh my God, they're going to go and do this to Wolves and that to Wolves. We're going to make a statement today saying how we're one of the better teams in here. But in reality, this was trust. Like, if I'm a Spurs fan, which I am, obviously, I feel more confident for next week.
You're confident going into the game. Yeah, of course.
Like, and for me, it's like, now I'm going into this game saying, like, if at least two of our three attackers show up, and Madison and Bissouma just doing what they do, and whoever's going to be the third midfielder there maybe can have a good game as well. I can see us. We can win the game. Not saying that. Even still, I still predict that we're going to probably lose the game, but still, I have a lot more confidence now.
Of course, as you should. After that performance, of course, because if Spurs would have put in that performance, I would have confidence going into a game against you lot. If you lot had done that. Hey, before we continue though, over 110 people in the building. Only at 7,000. Well, not only at 7,661 likes. We're only at 48. So like check 1212. Like check 1212. Let's get up to 70 likes first and foremost. None of this Liverpool signing midfielder conversion rate. What we doing? Let's get up to 70 likes. What is going on? And on top of that, hit the subscribe button. You know what? We'll go for 9 more subscribers. Get us up to 7,670 people. I'm asking for 9 subscribers. There's over 115 people watching right now. We are going to get into the actual show itself, but of course people got questions on the United Wolves game as well. But let's hit that like button, let's hit that subscribe button as well. LFC for the double. Every week I'm asking him on Battle of the North. Every single week I'm asking, whether we win, whether we lose, whether we draw, I'm asking Matisse if we're finishing second. Ironically, he messaged the group chat just towards the end of the first half of the game. And he was like, how are United playing, like with a smug smiley face? And I said, yeah, man, we got second place in the bag. And he laughed. I don't try that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Second place. What are you talking about?
First place is realistic, man.
Yeah?
You know what I'm saying?
Like it is. And I agree with you, David. Mount signing is on Ten Hag. Man knew that he was a dead signing. We could have signed Onana from Everton or Paulina from Fulham. That I agree with. That's why I don't put all of the criticism on Mount on Mount. It's also on Ten Hag because you signed him. 110%. 110%.
Second the manager for a signing is not enough.
Yeah, that's too far. Oh shit, is this true? Warrior J says here.
Yeah.
ACL, yeah.
First test is showing that Timbers damaged his ACL and be out for several months. And
that was early, yeah.
Man. Jeez, I didn't know that. I know it was ACL. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I also called. Yeah, obviously, my man, he plays for Arsenal, but still, I don't like when I see athletes getting these type of injuries.
Yeah, don't want that, man. You know what I'm saying? And to Edu said, simply put, we rub Rolls, Onana and AWB are the only ones who can hold their heads up after tonight. Yeah, I thought Onana and Wan-Bissaka was our 2 best players. Varane was solid. Martinez was okay. Sure, defensively in particular in the second half. Usual defensive players. But in regards to, we didn't rub Wolves. Let's cut this shit out. We did not rub Wolves. There was nothing unfair about that matchup. Nothing unfair. Manchester United had nothing to do with how them results went. Kanye missed from 2 yards and the ref refused to give a blatant penalty. That is not our fault. We have no bearing on either of those things. Kanye finished the chance. Referee, make the correct decision. That's not enough. So this whole thing of we rubbed, no, we didn't rub anybody. Because there was nothing unfair on our part. We benefited from a poor decision. We benefited from a striker being able to opposition play and being able to score from 2 yards out. Yeah.
Yes, this is
Wait.
football. This football.
What's this? And is this real before we carry on? Mohamed Salah to Saudi. I'm seeing this. LFC for the double says also terrible news.
What?
Salah is given the green light to negotiate with Saudi clubs. Wow.
Who's reporting that though?
Wow. Who is
Yeah,
reporting?
what's that
Sources.
for?
Yeah, who's reporting that? I don't know.
Sources.
I only heard of this like now, unless I haven't been on social media for like the last 20 minutes or so. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't know. Anyway, my man said I had enough of this bullshit. You sucked me for some FM new gen region. And
Are
nah,
you talking about Ben Doak?
Bendo, yeah, bro. I can't. And FM though, he's fucking cold.
Yeah. Well, all right, let's get into the show, people. Let's get into the actual show. So it's 5 different categories. Myself, Ahmed, Jez, and yourselves will all nominate 4 options for each category. And then I run a poll. And then myself, Jez, and Ahmed will pick our winners. We'll let you lot vote in the chat. Vote on the poll as well. So this is the way to get interaction with the chat. It's 5 different categories, people. 5 different categories. So the 5 categories are... What is going on with this? Here we go. The most unforgettable goal. And this is from the weekend's games just gone. This is how this show runs each and every week. So the most unforgettable goal, which is self-explanatory. Most unpredicted result explains itself as well. Most unacceptable error must have led to a goal for the opposition. So most unacceptable error must have led to a goal for the opposition. Most under the cosh manager. It's a manager he must have lost or drawn. It can't be a manager who's won. He is not eligible. That doesn't mean he's going to lose his job. He's just the most under the cosh manager for this week. A most untouchable manager on the flip side. Must be if the manager lost, then he is, you know what I'm saying? He is in if a manager lost, then he can't be the most untouchable manager. That's how this works. And even though we're running polls and we'll run the polls, if you super chat, then that is the winner of that category. So say for instance, you wanted the most unforgettable goal to be Varane's goal today, for instance. Even though we all know that's not the best goal, whatever you super chat, then that would be the best. But then if someone super chats the same amount or more, then it's that one. That's how this works, people. So yeah, we'll go to the first category. In the chat, let us know. Don't let us know which one you think's the best. Just give us your nominations, your 3-4 goals from the weekend. Most unforgettable goals. Vote. No, don't vote on the poll yet, but yes, most unforgettable goal. What you man telling me? Just don't give me your best ones. Don't give me who you have as the winner. Just give me the best goal. I'm thinking
I've got a couple. Yeah, got a couple. Obviously, I got Haaland's second goal. Obviously, Saka's goal. Solanke's goal, where he just literally was got the ball, one pass the keeper to shoot, was another nice one. Bowen's goal, the first goal where he shot outside the box. Barnes' finesse shot was another good one. Isak's lob, when he lobbed the keeper.
Yeah. That was quality. Keep letting us know in the chat, please, people. Don't give us your wins. Just name your
ironically, Emerson's shot where he just shot was actually good.
The half volley.
Emerson's shot was decent.
Yeah. And the Brighton one, Adringa, where the volley one, where they pass it to him and then he volleyed up and then he just hit it.
But wasn't the Luton player that tried to clear it?
Let me see. Yeah, we're getting to him. He was.
Hit it first time.
Yeah. So man is saying Isak, Bowens, Haaland, Saka's, etc. Emerson Royale. Jez, what you saying? I definitely think Saka's is definitely in there. I thought Haaland's second goal, Bowen's goal was a banger as well. Isak's chip. They're the ones I would say for me. That's the 4 I'd go with. What are you saying, Jez? Before we get into the winners.
I say definitely Isak's lob. That was crazy.
That was his second goal, right?
I think that was the first. I think was that the first? Wasn't it the first goal? No, second.
No,
never mind.
His second goal in it. I think it was.
Yeah, I think that was the second goal. I can't remember. Yeah. But that goal, Saka's goal for sure. I'm putting that in. I'll be honest. I want to put the Emerson goal ahead of. I'm putting the Emerson goal ahead of the Bowen goal. Not because I don't think the Bowen goal was actually not cold, but it was a defender that scored that goal. I don't think you see it. I always put an extra to it when I see a defender score a goal like that. I have to. So I put Emerson's goal, and I had one more goal in my mind. To be honest. No, actually no. I put Bones' goal there, but I wanted to give it but I do wanted to say Isak's first goal when the whole play was. I think the whole set piece was just nice. I think I give it an honorable mention, but and
Cool.
stuff. But
We
yeah,
can do honorable mentions. The poll's out now, people. Most unforgettable goal. The poll is out. So let us know the 4 options. We've gone with Isak, his chip, Saka's goal against Forest, Bowen's goal, which was a banger, and then Haaland's second goal against Burnley as well. So we'll go to you, Jess. Out of these 4, which do you think is the best? Actually, give us 1 to 4, actually. We'll run that. Give us your 1 to 4 on these. So Isak's chip, Saka's goal, Bowen, and Haaland's.
Haaland's goal first, like ridiculous, just ridiculous, isn't it? Like they call him the robot for a reason, isn't it? Then Saka's goal. Saka goal for me goes second. Then I say Bowen and then Isak. But I don't mind if people want to switch between Isak and Bowen.
Yeah, it's tough because they're all 4 very, very good
Like,
goals.
for me, it's like they're all altered the because the Saka's and Bowen, they were altered the box, and it's not easy to just score these goals.
No, it is. What you saying, Ahmed? On
On
them 4, Isak's chip, Saka's goal, Bowen, Haaland's. Yeah, go on.
I think for me, number 1 has to be the Haaland goal. Like, he didn't even react after the goal, bro. That's how brazy it was. Like, you already knew it was in. Number 2, definitely, it would probably be Saka's goal for me. And then number 3 would have to be... which one do I have? I would have to say the Bowen goal for me is number 3. And then Isak's number 4.
It's tough, man. Let us know in the chat as well. And for instance, say someone wanted it to be. So currently, right now, we've had after all the votes, Isak's chip is 62%, Saka's at 12%, Bowen at 19%, Haaland's goal at 6%. But say, for instance, Haaland's goal at 6% and somebody super chatted, that would be the winner. We'd still run the poll and still discuss it, but that's how it indeed works, people. So make sure you vote. Even if you're not active in the comment section, vote. It all helps the show. In regards, this is tough. I don't know, because Haaland's second goal was nuts. Haaland's second, but it's between those 2, even though I like Isak's chip a lot. Because that was deft and he won the ball back.
Exactly.
That's tough.
I don't mind if you want to go.
I go Haaland. Yeah, it's tough. I go Haaland's second goal. I think that's the best out of the lot. Then I go with Isak's chip. Because I think that's tough. But Bowen's goal was a banger, though. Bowen's third and then Saka's 4th. All banging goals, though. Don't get it mistaken. Like, you can put that in any order, 1 to 4, and I'm like, cool. I'll have no issue with that whatsoever, but it's really tough. We'll wait for some more votes to come in. Let us know in the chat who you voted for and why. That's what I really want to know. Who did you lot vote for and why? Please let us know. Currently, Isak chip at 65%. That is I didn't expect that to dominate. Did not expect that to dominate in the manner in which it has. Really dominated. You lot, let's see what else you lot saying in the chat. Bowen's the best. Isak 1, Haaland 2, Saka 3, Bowen 4. Don't sleep on that Bowen strike, you know. That's a banging strike.
I generally couldn't decide if I wanted to put him 3rd or 4th. Like, hard, bro. Can't lie.
That's a banging strike for real.
It was quite good, yeah.
By the way, before obviously the result is out, quickly, I just want to ask about the Spurs. I'm probably going to talk about it more in depth later, but in a different show. But you think you're going to go with the same front three, or you're going to put maybe Sancho false 9?
I think it'll be Sancho false 9. Rashford left.
Because I can't I really want Rashford to play striker because
of course
I want Van der Ven I want to be Van der Ven to be there to actually closer to him. Because bro, whether Emerson can't defend, it's the issue. Rashford is just so rapid.
Yeah, it's quick, man.
Rashford's very rapid, too rapid.
Yeah, but we need to change it. I expect a better performance because I think the way Spurs play stylistically suits us more. That's
100%.
in terms of the counter attack. Not saying we definitely win.
Yeah, but it just suits more.
Yeah, it definitely suits us more. Sorry, people. I'm just there doing the banners as well. Let me remove that. This thing moving slow. But yeah, we've had enough votes. Let's see. Let me actually get to the comment section as well. See what else you lot are saying. Promoted teams. Which promoted team impressed you? Burnley did. Burnley impressed me. Burnley did impress me.
Yeah, Burnley was looking.
Burnley, I think, was the most impressive. I think Burnley was the most impressive in my opinion. Yeah. Honestly, man, I'm very surprised of how well Wolves played. In my opinion, they really showed out for themselves. In my opinion, so shouts out to them.
Yeah.
Like I said, I would say so. But yeah, we've had enough votes. Yeah, Isak's chip has won this. He's at 59%. Saka at 24%. Bowen at 14%. Haaland at 3%. Wow, you're not showing no love to Haaland, you know.
Oh, you guys gotta show some love to the Haaland. Do you know how much tech it takes to actually score that goal in
facts.
Trust me, man. They don't know, man.
What?
No, to be
That's
fair,
what I'm saying.
these goals are all bangers, but come on, you guys gotta give that goal a bit more love. I'll be honest.
Facts. All right. Right. That's yeah. So winner is Isak's chip. You know what I'm saying? Against Aston Villa. Right. We'll go to the next one, which is the most unpredicted result. So I run through all the results. Let us know in the chat. Give us your 3 to 4 people most unpredicted results. If you've got 3 or 4, if you've only got 2, that's fine. You don't have to give us your winners. Let us know. I will run through the results right now as we speak, people. So Burnley 0, Manchester City 3, Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 1, Sheffield United 0, Crystal Palace 1, Bournemouth 1, West Ham 1, Brighton 4, Luton 1, Everton 0, Fulham 1, Newcastle 5, Aston Villa 1, Brentford 2, Tottenham 2, Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1, and of course Manchester United 1, Wolves 0. Ahmed, will go to you. Most unpredicted. Just your suggestions, nominations, I should say.
Unironically, I don't think there's a lot of the results kind of went the way they were meant to be this week. I don't know if you maybe this the Newcastle one really. The Newcastle probably
Obviously,
the
that's
biggest
a
one, yeah.
Newcastle 5,
But
Aston
like
Villa 1.
the rest of them, literally, you would probably think that's how they would go anyway.
Maybe Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Expecting a bigger result there.
Maybe, yeah, you could probably
I'd
say
was
that.
expecting a bigger result. I would say so with that.
Mm.
Yeah, City beating Burnley 3-0 makes sense. Palace beating Sheffield United, cool.
Maybe
Bournemouth,
Bournemouth first time drawing.
I'd say that was fairly accurate.
Exactly,
Big up
yeah.
Casually FC for the raid as well.
Yeah, I don't think that was
even though it's newly promoted, Brighton 4, Luton 1. Or
Yeah,
is everyone expecting him to get packed?
I expect, to be fair, me personally, I expected Luton to get packed. I can't lie.
Okay, that's fair.
Bro, shout out to expression. There's a reason why we're calling them Brighton Munich now.
Thanks, man. That's funny, man. That's funny. Yeah, Joker. You know what I'm saying? And that.
Oh, bro, they're different, bro. They didn't need the Caicedo to score. I mean, it's Luton, but still.
Nah, I hear you. I hear exactly what you're saying. Let us know in the chat if there's any, because it can be a team you expected to win, but they just didn't win heavily enough. Like to me,
the thing with the Everton result, Warrior J93, the thing with the Everton result is that you probably expect Fulham to win. Just that the way the game went, it was Everton should have really won in the game actually. But if you were looking at it on paper, Fulham should have won that game.
I think all these results maybe for me, all the results are probably just fair. Like, I mean, based obviously for me, the Newcastle Villa, I didn't expect that to be a 5-1. To be honest.
Well, run that anyway. I've run the poll. There's 2 in there, people. So there's Newcastle 5, Aston Villa 1, and then Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 1. So go vote on the poll, people. Go vote on the poll. They're the only 2 I really look at and go, yeah. They're legit the only 2 I can think of. See people? See on the screen right there. Go vote on the poll. The poll is up. Go vote. Of course, if you super chat, say you super chat and was like Chelsea 1, Liverpool 1 is the most unpredicted result. That's how it works. Big up to everyone who joined over from the raid as well. Big up Marshall. Big up Casually FC. Make sure you subscribe to the channel there. Now over 140 of you like in the building, only at 60 likes. Like check 1212. Let's get us up to triple digits, man. Let us get us up to 100 likes. None of this Liverpool signing the DM conversion rate. What we doing, man? Let's bump this up and hit the subscribe button as well, because you're clearly here enjoying the content. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, because I know everyone watching right now enjoying this content has not hit the subscribe button. And on top of that, we are available on audio platforms as well. SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV. That's SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. The links are underneath in the description anyway. But let's see, I'm expecting this one to be an open and shut Case Johnson. 92% with Newcastle 5, Aston Villa 1. 8% with Arsenal 2, Nottingham Forest 1. That's fair. Yeah,
man. I mean, I feel like that was very bait in a way. Yeah.
Should you say LFC for the double? That's a shock. United 1, Wolves 0. Was it a shock? Maybe not.
I don't see. I think it's more for me. More the game went rather than the results. Because I didn't expect United to score a lot of goals. Like my prediction was only like 1-0, 2-0 for United.
Yeah.
It was like
Like, that's it. And what Chinlu says, the Palace game for me, Roy Hodgson trying to scrap man, maybe Chris. What did I miss?
Yeah, you're trying to fight one of the man.
Who was he trying to fight?
He's too old for that, man. Sit down.
He was trying to get the ball. You try to get the ball off him, then like,
Bro should be retiring, bro. Like, what? Why is he still trying to fight, man? Like, God damn.
Who was he trying to grab the ball from?
the player, the Sheffield United player.
Sheffield, you need to relax. You are a pensioner, man. You are a granddad. You might be a great granddad. You need
Man,
to relax.
honestly, man, one bang, and you know the afterlife is waiting for you, bro.
You need to, to LFC for the double said Wolves definitely. Everyone said United would batter them. Yeah, that's from foolish United fans. That's who that was. That's from foolish United fans.
3-0. I was seeing the 4-0.
When people talking me,
Sorry, man. United's finishing second, bro. United's finishing second. The challenging City. I can't wait to see what they had, man. You know what I mean? That's going to be a tough competition, bro. You know what I'm saying?
To be fair, Gerald got already more wins than Klopp. So shout to Gerald. Oh, man.
You are the Egypts. All right, let's move on to the next category. Let's see which one the next category is. Oh, this gonna be good. This is always fun, man. Most unacceptable error. Most unacceptable error.
There's actually one.
The most unacceptable error. I think there's actually two. Most unacceptable error must have led to a goal for the opposition people. Go on. What are you saying?
The first one, no doubt for me, is Ezri Konsa. Is the first one for me.
Definitely.
I'm not sure what the other one you're thinking of is, bro.
My man from you mentioned.
Oh, the Luton game, man. The one where he just passed it to him for the volley.
You know what's crazy? The name on his shirt is different from his name on Google. I'm like, that makes no type of sense. I thought I was confused. I was like, is this the same guy? Because they was calling him like Mpenza or something like that. But then when I checked, his name was different. One sec, I've got it here. He's the number 17. See, people, I'll be doing my research and my due diligence. But him, because they've got his name as, I think is it Roddick or something, but like his name is like Mpenza or some shit like that. You don't know who I'm talking about. Yeah, or whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah, look up.
Yeah, but his name was different. When I went through the lineup from the game, his name was different. But let us know anyway, people. Most unacceptable error. Do you have anything out of Konza, apart from Konza for the Isak goal? And what's his name?
Mpenza.
Mpenzu for, I can't even remember who scored that goal for Brighton. I think it was the
Drinker.
Ivan, shout out to USG legend.
So yeah, they're the two. Is there any others? I mean, the new one, of course. I'm trying to see if there's any more.
That's penalties. Because can you maybe say Sons?
That's a shout. Sons is definitely a shout. Before we get into it, yeah.
Yeah, like
Son's definitely a shout. See, yeah, they got his name here as Pelly Ruddock.
Maybe he's got like a metal world piece run our test, you know what I'm saying? It might be that little situation thing.
I mean,
actually read that, bro. Honestly.
His first name is Pelly Ruddock.
Yeah, that's what they've got him as, Pelly Ruddock. Let me run this, like we set up this poll anyway, man.
Yeah, the Dallas forgot this. Oh shit! If I'm not mistaken, this might be the player that they were talking about. Because what's it called?
The ranks.
Yeah, all the ranks.
Yeah, listen, man. You know what? Yeah, let's talk about while you're waiting for this thing to happen. Let's talk about Liverpool's lost wife, lost chain, lost house, lost kids. You know what I'm saying?
Before you do that, the poll's up, people. Go vote on the poll. Go on, Ahmed. Go vote on the poll, people.
Bro, man, these man thought they could, take our chains. No, man, they thought they could handle us. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'm waiting, I'm waiting for the bid. You know what I'm saying? They're still waiting. I'm waiting for the bid, you know what I mean? I know the bid's still in Batsy right now. I'm still waiting for that bid to happen, you know what I'm saying? They got rejected by Lavia. Apparently, there's a video that came out right now from Fabrizio saying that he called them and said, I don't want to be at your club anymore. I don't want to join your club. I want to go to Chelsea. Similar to what Caicedo did. So, listen, man. This is getting violent out here. And now you're hearing Tyler Adams is going to be a top cherry, you know what I mean? All the way down in Bournemouth. Who they getting after that, mate? You getting after that? Like I was telling, Jez, they might have to go and get in Holbeig, man. At this point, they might have to get check Decore from Crystal Palace. Bro, and these men were crying at them like, why? These men were saying, oh, we're not gonna pay you 60-70 million. Hey, man, it might look like you have to pay 60-70 million now. Paulinho. Hey, Fulham are gonna make sure you pay 100 M's for that, brother, right now.
You know what the issue is? For Liverpool as well as you make the whole world literally realize that you got money. Everybody knows it now. With the Caicedo thing. That's true. So everybody can charge extra if they want to.
You know the WWE song, Vince McMahon's song. Here comes the money, everyone. That song is now everywhere for you.
Shane McMahon.
Oh, sorry, man.
Actually, that's accurate because you know what? Vince's song is Liverpool trying to sign a DM. No chance in hell. So you spot on, fam.
Hey man, that's
Smart.
what I'm saying.
Hey,
Listen, man.
hey, that's
So
okay.
come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We out here, man. Bro, man. At the end of the day, man, these man are absolutely cooked, man. They can hold that, man. All crying about FFP. Like, yeah, they had to snitch on us, yeah, to end the loopholes that we've been using, man. All these tears, man. Man, all these tears, Liverpool fans, they can hold that at the end of the day, man. You're not Chelsea, man. You know what I mean? What's no one's coming to Liverpool for Robbie Fowler, big man. You know what I'm saying? No one's coming for football for John Arne Reesa, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not coming here for Daniel Agger, Martin Skirtle. You know what I'm saying? No one's coming here for those type of legends. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's forgotten about you, man. Yeah, we're not coming here for Joe Allen. You know what I'm saying? That's what Liverpool, Joe Allen playing for them. Who else did they have that was playing for them at that time? I keep forgetting. Joe Allen, the bold guy that they had at one point.
Charlie
you
Adam.
know, Charlie Adam. You know what I'm
Paul
saying? No.
Konchesky. Paul Konchesky.
Oh my
What
lord!
was the guy who did that terrible corner? Was it Aspas or whatever his name was?
Yeah, Iago Aspas. Oh
Yeah,
my
Aspas,
god!
yeah.
Oh
Aspas.
my lord! Yeah,
Yeah.
that was. Listen, man. Mignolet, we're not coming here for Listen, man. At the end of the day, man, you're not Chelsea. You're just some random club in Northern England. Remember that, man.
Wow. Hold that. But yeah, you lot continue to vote on the poll. I wait for some more votes. Cons are currently leading the way at 53%. Pelly Rudok at 33%. Son at 13%. I personally think the Luton player Pelly Rudok, I think his mistake was worse. Cons' was bad, but you see he's trying to run it out and he loses his balance, and then Isak does it and then takes the chip. But you're free. I think at that point they were 2-1 down. This guy's trying to chest it and control it
Yeah.
and knee it, facing his own goal. You know what I'm saying? Just outside the 6-yard
Bro,
box in his own
you know,
penalty box.
like,
I'm like, what are you doing?
When I saw that, the first thing I was thinking is like, yeah, bro, they're just here just for the vibes, bro. Like they're not here to play
Yo, man,
football.
teed him up like man are saying in the chat. But yeah, Cons is currently winning at 53%. Belly Rudok at 29%.
Oh my god! These man have
more.
actually made a comp of Mount already. Lord have mercy, man.
Hey, man.
Yo,
Trust
they
in Ten Hag, man.
Hey, Ten Hag, bro. It's looking spooky out here, man. He might
That's
be
a- it's a
another
bad
Tuchel.
one.
Might
It's a
be
bad
Tuchel. Might be Tuchel in disguise.
It's a bad one. It's a bad one. I want it to be wrong. And like I said, hopefully he can turn it around. But what I seen today was what I expected. Actually, I tell a lie because he wasn't even good off the ball. He wasn't even good off the ball today. Which I'm like, yeah, that's the most disappointing part.
Can I ask you a question, guys? Yeah, why do you think? Yeah, obviously, I know for the Chelsea thing, yeah, it's obviously been a bunny thing, but what's going on with like Klopp? Because one of the things that Liverpool used to always speak about was that the Klopp pool. You know what I'm saying? Like when he gets on the phone with these players, they always choose Liverpool. Like, why do you think it is like now? Like whenever like Klopp calls these players or something like that's happening, like it's not hitting anymore. Like,
Bro,
why do you think that?
I mean, which players are we? See, the thing is,
Yeah,
look at the players that they have
about.
signed, and then look at the competition that they were in for these players. And at the time, I don't remember anyone wanting. I know Chelsea wanted Alisson, but it wasn't like Chelsea was like in the best state either. Who wanted Van Dijk again?
No one, because we couldn't afford
And then I mean, Robertson was at Hull. Trent came from the academy. Ronaldo, he came. We wanted Ronaldo by a couple of seasons before, and of course, you're gonna at the time get probably a player from convinced to come to Liverpool over Spurs, but as the manager specifically. Then Salah, he came from Fiorentina. Mane came from Southampton. Firmino came from Hoffenheim. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Now you're not talking about players that you're trying to go for a high profile player where everybody is like everybody wants that player, and then he chooses still Liverpool. Like it's a myth to begin with. To be honest, that's why I never understood this club pull thing. Like they're just going for players that they know they can get. That's why it was weird that they went for Caicedo, knowing that he never wanted them to begin with, and so Bosnia and McAllister. Everybody was saying how good their window is. They just paid 2 release clauses. I could do that.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I fully hear what you're saying. Continue to vote on the poll in regards to Klopp. It's money thing. That's all that is. Liverpool don't pay big money. Chelsea pay big money in terms of wages. Manchester United pay big money in terms of wages. That whole thing about pull and all this crap.
Oh my!
You know what the pull is? Money.
You
That's
see
what
this
it
comment
is.
by
The
Chillen
notes.
Liu. He said it's the teeth. Oh my.
Well, yeah, you got no jokes. That's what Paul is. It's like, yo, why do you think Manchester United, who have been terrible for a decade, still managed to sign world-class, top-class players, whether they're at that level or talents? We signed Zlatan. We signed Pogba. We signed Rafael Varane. We signed Casemiro. Look at the quality of player we're signing. Forget where they're at now when we signed them at that point. You know why? Yes, prestige adds into it. Big money. We pay the big same with Chelsea. Even if they go through their bad period, they pay big money. Like
I think
that's how
even
you're able to sign players like that. Yeah, go
I
on,
think
fam.
even Ndombele is more wages than most of Liverpool's best players. And
That's what
Ndombele
that
came
is.
here. Ndombele only came over here because we had to pay the big wages.
For instance, if Liverpool would have offered Caicedo say 400k a week, do you think he's going Liverpool? Yes.
He's gonna consider, yeah,
If
100%.
they said Lavia here's 400k a week, not saying they would, people, I'm just using it as an example. Yes, it's a money thing. If they said whatever he's on at Chelsea, say he's on 250k a week at Chelsea, Caicedo or Lavia, and Liverpool said here's 400k, you think of course they're both going there. Of course.
Can I also
Makes
say,
sense.
I think Derek GX, pick up Derek GX, yeah. He makes a good point where Liverpool, like for the first time in a while, like they look quite they were looking incompetent in my eyes. Like I've never heard in my life yet. Because we didn't. Sorry, no, I know my life was wrong. Sorry, but obviously, when we did it with Rafinha, where we just like put a bid in for Rafinha, but we literally did agree personal terms with him, right? And then obviously you wanted Barcelona. They literally just did the same thing for Casado. Like I don't understand where the school of thought that they had that was gonna work came from.
I don't know. And like it's their issue. And then the funny part
I
about it,
understand, bro. Yeah,
But they were
it's just for me.
They were incompetent last summer. Look, they signed Alpha Melo on the last day, but we want to talk about it.
it is what it is. What it is.
We'll talk about
It's their issues, bro. Like I mean, I got a lot of opinions about Liverpool, but I keep them for now until I see more in the season because I can't obviously make my opinion actually fulfill my opinions until actually the season has played out. But yeah, man, I'm interested. In Liverpool, gonna be interesting. I'll have to say.
Very, it is. But
It'll be
yeah,
interesting.
Konza's ran away with this 57%. Pelly Rudok at 20. Well, it was 30%. Now at 29%. Son at 12%. So the winner of that is Konza. We'll get through the penultimate. I think that's the correct way to use it. But yeah, most under the Kosh manager. So let us know in the chat. This manager can't have won. So it can be a manager that was expected to win that game or drew, or a manager who lost. Also, as well, most under the
Can
Kosh
it be a manager that won, but like kind of like lost at the same
not
time?
one.
No
Can be a
manager.
draw
Every
or
manager
loss.
that won now.
Draw or loss. What are you saying, Ahmed? What manager sticks out to you?
I think Klopp is under the cosh. I'll be real. I'll give him one of them.
Emery.
Emery is another one as well.
Emery's a shout. Let us
Luton
know in the chat,
manager.
please, people. Emery's definitely a shout. Who is the Luton manager? What is his name?
I have no clue. Just the Luton manager.
Let us know. We actually need to get his.
Rob Edwards.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
All right, cool. So we got Robert.
I've seen I'm not sure about Moyes, bro.
Nah, Moyes a draw away at Bournemouth. Nah.
No,
And
you can't give it to him.
Klopp drawing away at Chelsea. I wouldn't say
What's his name though? Deitch. I would give it to him.
See, this is the thing.
Dash is a shout.
I was thinking about it, but then I wanted to say company, but then again, you're playing against the champions.
Yeah, you gotta say company. I think I'm just having a look here, like in regards to teams that lost. Forget Burnley, forget Forest, Sheffield United, West Ham or Bournemouth. No, forget the Luton manager. Yeah, actually, Luton manager. You can say Dash is a shout. Definitely Emery's a shout. Brentford Spurs, no. I don't think Poch or Klopp either, or no. When I'm saying Ten Hag, Derek, United won.
Yeah, they won.
Listen, see, people still don't listen. United won. Oh my
Teams
God.
that
It's
draw.
for this week only, people. It's for this week.
Otherwise, I'll be the same guy every
only.
week.
Yes, otherwise we just be talking about the same things over and over and over. That's what it is. Yeah, Derek. I said I'm just playing joke, man. But let me run
You know who I think is most under cosh though?
Go on.
Frank Lampard, definitely for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he
Let's get-
last season he was always there.
It was always
That period of time when you lot like didn't win for like 2-3 months, yo, man was just under the whole time.
Oh my God, Frankie! See for Frankie Lampard, man, he was a joke, man.
It was under the Kosh manager. So what we saying, people? We've got Emery. Who else we saying? Well,
We said
we'll throw Sean Dyche in there. 100%.
Daichi.
Rob Edwards. Yeah. Rob Edwards.
How about the Sheffield manager? Probably Sheffield United because they didn't even play.
No, they lost. They lost, but you only lost 1-0.
Yeah, but like against Palace, and they just got a bit smaller, and that team is shocking too. Like they have like probably just 1 or 2 players already at max.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. So yeah, we'll go with those 3 then, because I don't think Klopp deserves to be in there. So right, go vote on the poll, people. The poll is out. Go vote on the poll. Go vote on the poll, people. Go vote. Let's see what's up. How to be. Oh, shit.
By the way, we were waiting. I think you probably saw the floors already. Mbappe's already back in the first team.
Yes, I did see that.
Bro,
I did see that.
Did you the game against Lorient? And literally the next following day, Mbappe's back in the first team. I'm telling you, didn't we call it? We said no chance PSG if he stays. Not going to play him the whole season. It's tough. You can't,
brother, man. I can't listen, man. Those statistics, they had against Lorient, was crazy, bro.
Talk about it.
1,001 passes, bro. 0.06 xg. My word, bro. That was, I don't know. What are you passing for that way, bro? What you passing to?
That's Enrique.
Well, I know it's Enrique, but that is, you know how outrageous that sounds. Like, if you look at that stat line, bro, if I was to get my book up right now and I saw 1,001, thing, I'll be like, what the flip, bro? What happened? What were you passing to at that point, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, 0.06 xg is actually wild, bro. Like no one's like deep in it, man. I told you.
Nah, but this is just the thing. Like, I mean, Enrique had like 1,000 passes in a match in the World Cup with Spain. So it's like not surprising, to be honest. But it's also that's one of the issues that I didn't like about Enrique when he was linked to him. Even though I like him as a manager, I think he's just very one-dimensional. Very one-dimensional.
Mm-hmm. No, I did. Yeah, like I said, there was no chance they was having Mbappe there and he's staying and he sits out. No chance. Has he actually signed a new deal?
No, but there's apparently rumors not saying he maybe signs a year extension, and then they can sell him next summer. Which I'm like, why? Like,
no, fast.
Just don't get it. Just don't get it.
I hear you. And to Paul, who says, is Timo okay? No show for a while. Yeah, Timo was on a Q&A last week at some point. Timo was
on it was on Kevin.
And he's on Lewis's stream. Yeah, he's on Lewis's stream as well. Just more time he's here, he's just falling asleep while doing some Timo stuff. You know what he's like, man. Social experiment, man. You know what Timo's like.
Oh, flawless. You know what? Before we go to the next topic, we need to talk about one of our favorite players, Neymar Jr. Bro, obviously, as you know, he got the here we go to Al Hilal, bro, for 2 years. I think it's a 2-year deal.
Al Hilal Nation.
I can't lie to you, bro. He is honestly the big. What you could probably make the argument, the number one example of like wasted potential, bro. Number one example of wasted potential, in my opinion. Like when he reached that peak at Barcelona, he should not have left to go to PSG because once he reached PSG, it all went downhill from there for him, man. And it's like he's not produced that for Brazil. He's not produced for PSG at all. No. Damn, you know what I'm saying? And like you can really look at his career and you can be like, this guy's mostly the air for Ronaldo and Messi. They didn't live up to it at all.
Yeah, I mean, are you actually going to do the agenda? See about it.
I need to talk to Lewis. It's just time.
Time, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you want to get me, Lewis, and everybody else on the who's around at the same time. So me and Lewis actually need to talk properly and pattern the agenda FC in terms of the actual show. That's what it is.
Yeah. Now, because the thing is, I mean, if not, then it's probably going to be Q&A talk anyway. But
it'll be a Q&A. We'll definitely talk about
the thing is, about this is like I actually agree. Like for me, it's one with name. The way I look at Neymar's career now, it's like for me, it's the biggest what if. Yes. What if he stayed at Barcelona? What if he would have gone somewhere else out of PSG? Because we can say that for me, even though I didn't want him to go to PSG at the time, it's easy to say now in hindsight that he should have gone PSG because at the time, they were a rising team. It looked like a team with potential. Yes, you came back with them 6-1, but even in the game, realistically, PSG should have even killed them off in that game. So in hindsight, it's easy to say that he shouldn't have gone PSG. The issue is he didn't do what we as people wanted him as a football fans to do at PSG, which is to deliver them a Champions League. They didn't need it more legals to prove that they're like the biggest club in France or France. They don't have a Champions League, and he was brought in to do that, and he just couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Like we can, I think there were a lot of performances that he helped them get into certain stages in the Champions League, getting them to a Champions League final. But then again, just didn't do it. Like I think in this generation, I mean, I think it's fair to say that he, in this current situation that we generation that we was, that for me, as a player himself, definitely was top three. But in terms of his legacy and his achievements, as team achievements, not individual ones,
Yeah.
definitely is lacking behind a lot of players because a lot of players have done a lot to help the teams win trophies as well, especially the big ones. And it's one of them ones where like I actually called it after the World Cup. The reason, remember the period when Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar was playing so well for PSG before the World Cup. I was saying before the World Cup that all these guys want to just play well so they get themselves into form for the World Cup, and then once the World Cup is finished, all of them just gonna disappear. Now I made a prediction saying that I don't know where, but I think Neymar's gonna leave Europe, and I was right. I mean, he went to Saudi, and to be honest, I don't begrudging people begrudging him going to Saudi. I don't, because he's getting his money. He's getting his money, to be honest, and I feel like we as football fans view and have a different type of mindset and mentality about these things. And compared to footballers, Neymar is probably like my love for the game is just not there anymore as much, and I just want to make sure I get as much money as possible on, but I can still play football, so I can stay in shape for the Copa Americas at least, or maybe the World Cup that he maybe can play in. It's just more like I said for me. I've seen people say he's a disgrace, he's a fraud. Nah, I wouldn't say that. Like he has done, what he has done in his career. I feel like a lot of players would wish to have that, but in the same time, for his potential, it's not enough to really put into what we thought he was going to be in. So it's like just one of them was when I say like I said, the biggest what if.
Yeah,
You know what it
that's
is
why
though,
I look
Jez,
at
yeah.
it. Biggest what if? Well, yeah, go on, I mean, your time.
Just because I was just to this point, like when people are like pissed off about his career, like I agree that a lot of people like to have his career, but the thing for Neymar's career is that where is that it could have been greater, bro. That's the thing. That's the thing which I think really hurts Neymar because when people look at him, it's gonna be like what went wrong. You know what I mean? People are gonna be writing if you like when like journalists or whatever you want to look sports
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be documents
like
about it.
yeah sports historians, they're gonna be like what went wrong. It's not gonna be like what went right. It's like what went wrong literally for him.
Yeah, that's how I look at it in regards to it's the biggest what if because when he was at Barcelona, the general consensus was he's heir to the throne. After Ronaldo, Messi, it's him. He's the next guy to take the mantelpiece and be the guy in in the world of football. Well, in
Yeah,
European football, I should say.
take over.
You
Like
take
he,
over. You take
yeah,
over the kingdom. You're the king now. Kind of like exactly now,
you're
people.
the prince.
How we look at Mbappe and Haaland. They're the next two up. That's the general consensus right now is that those two are going to be the new age Ronaldo and Messi. Like I'm not saying they put up their numbers. I'm saying they're the two best players. General consensus. They're the two that are gonna take their teams over the top. That's what we was looking at from Neymar, and he had everything because he had success already. He'd been part of Barcelona sides that was great. Not only was he supposed to be heir to the throne in European football, you were supposed to be heir to the throne at Barcelona because it was Ronaldinho, then it was Messi, then it
And
was
then
supposed to be Neymar, and he moved, and he shouldn't have moved. So people saying, "Oh, he moved, quote unquote, for to get out of Messi's shadow, to then get outshone by
by
Mbappe."
Mbappe. And this is
Like he
this is
should
my
have
issue.
stayed at Barcelona and waited for Messi to retire and let him pass over the crown to you.
But
Why
this
jump?
is but
Go
this is
on.
my issue. That was my issue particularly. Okay, you left, but then you needed for me. He needed then to make sure. Okay, you can only really justify leaving Barcelona for PSG if you then show me that you can deliver PSG a
Yes.
Champions League. And to
Yeah,
be
yeah,
fair to him, since he left, Barcelona has been disgraced in the Champions League, and he at least helped PSG to get to a Champions League final. But the point was more so okay. The narrative was at the time you wanted to go this because you wanted to leave his shadow,
yeah.
but you
Yes.
couldn't. You couldn't. You ended up being like second fiddle at some point. Like
Yes.
yes,
Mm.
Mbappe came in to help, but then slowly and slowly, Mbappe came to a point where like Mbappe looking more. people looking more at Mbappe to deliver the Champions League than you have to deliver for
Yeah,
PSG.
that's true.
And this is the issue. That's why I say, for me, I don't like when people call him fraud or not disappointment,
Yeah, that's too
fraud
far.
or disgrace. Because bro,
Yeah.
there's a lot of players I can talk about disgrace, and disgrace is way too harsh for fraud. And fraud, also not, because again, he did good part of his career early on. We can't just ignore the
Yeah, we don't.
because I feel like
Barcelona quality.
this
What
was
he did
saying
at
this was, you know,
Barcelona, top notch.
this was saying this way for me, his Barcelona thing, that's why you can't call him like a disgrace or a fraud. Like, but in terms of like his PSG thing, again, this very disappointing in terms of what he actually done. Yes, maybe individually as an individual, you did great. You had a couple very good performances, but again, if you really want to be in those conversations of being a goal, like, bro, this goal conversation between Messi and Ronaldo didn't stop until Messi won the World Cup. No, I don't see the debate never again.
Yeah,
And this is the point I was trying to say. But you know what? I think Neymar doesn't really care about that much, to be honest. And it's just disappointing because that's why I say this. That's why I use specifically these two words in terms of disappointment and what if, because Neymar can still play in Europe.
Oh yeah,
He
of
can still
course.
play in Europe. Like, it's not like Ronaldo where like everybody knows you. You're definitely not playing for a top club in Europe. Like, we know that. And Messi completed football. That guy is vibing with DJ Khaled now and Rick Ross over there in Miami. He's partying and shit. Like, guy is trying to unlock some new characters within himself. Like, maybe he's gonna start liking some black people, but that's for another day. But
Jesus fucking Christ. Bulgaria.
Neymar, there's still a lot left. But I kind of knew that he was gonna leave Europe because I don't think his mindset is there anymore. I don't
Yeah,
think.
you reckon he's just
But then
like,
again,
yeah.
he's Brazilian. He's past 30 and he has money. Like I think there wasn't too many signs of him really. There's not too many. I mean, if you calculate 1+1, it was obvious.
No, first. And big up to, there's a super chat I need to get to real quick. I think responding to saying, I know some of you lot watching are slightly behind.
Yeah, I saw the super chat. It was
I get to it.
so
Same that you. He says,
so
big up to
McAllister.
Aaron Nabi for the super chat, much appreciated. Says, so McAllister, Fab, Nunes, Gakpo, no club effect. So I think he's responding to you.
Okay.
Talking about
So is he? When I say Fab, I'm assuming Fabinho, right? I would assume so. That's who he's talking about.
Yeah, I presume it's Fabinho. Yeah.
But you look at all of these. You look at all of these players. McAllister literally deactivated his release clause. Chelsea came in extremely late for him, and he still said no to them because it was too late at that point, and they had already did a deal. You look at that. Gakpo, obviously, yes, maybe he may have spoken with him. Maybe they offered a good. Yes, he may have spoken to him. It worked for him, and then he moved on. But the reality of the situation is, the guys that you've mentioned right now, one of them had a release clause. Nunes, they paid a lot of money from straight up compared to what United was willing to pay for him as well. But when we look at it right now, as of currently with Liverpool, it's not having as strong of effect. Maybe that's a better thing to say. We will see, in continued windows, whether or not people will still come up. Whether people of that level will still come to the football club, I would say that's probably the point on that.
Hey, Aaron, big up for the super chat though to Aaron Nabi as well. Large with my guy Eddie in the chat as always. And yes, just back to obviously the poll as well. Emery's won. Emery at 52%, Sean Dyche at 35%. It's just changed now. Emery at 52%, Dyche at 35%, Rob Edwards at 13% as well. So let's end that poll. And the last one, people, the last one is most untouchable manager. Most untouchable manager. Ahmed, what are you telling me? Most untouchable manager.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I want to give my boy Roy Hodgson a big lovely shout. Let me shout out my boy Roy. I want to give also another big shout to Eddie Howe, of course. Eddie Howe had to get that one simple. Who else would I say? You know what, man? Pochettino, I would say. I want to give a nice little shout out to him. Even though he drew the game, I feel like, he did a great job there too. And I think the final one, I'm not actually sure. Postecoglou, actually, because I think Postecoglou gave a good showing of himself too.
Cool. What are you saying?
I would have said the reason why I won't say Marco Silva is because Warren at J93 is because he basically what's the word? He fluked that win. I'll be real. Obviously, his team was more clinical. Let's not get that twisted. But Fulham are not playing great, so that's the only reason why.
Eddie Howe, of course, is one. De Zerbi. for their win.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
the
deserve
Derby.
your
Super Pro
yeah.
What you saying? What you saying, Jess? Let us know in the chat. Continue to get your nominations in the chat, please, people. If you got more than one, because I'm going to run the poll. Yeah, go on.
Pep, 3-0.
Yeah, Pep's a shout. Yeah, Pep's
Um,
a shout.
Definitely the Serbi, Eddie Howe, and Roy Hodgson.
Roy Hodgson's do you say Roy Hodgson's a shout still? Yeah, it's a shout. You know what? We'll just throw Roy Hodgson on there just cause. Just cause. 1 second. Hodge. So yeah, go vote on the poll, people. The poll is now up. Go and vote most untouchable manager. And of course, say for instance, like you agree with Ahmed and say, yeah, say Poch. If you super chatted and said Poch, that would be the winner. But go vote on the poll. For me, out of these, has to be, yeah, it has to be Eddie Howe. Definitely Eddie Howe number one, 110%. I'd say De Zerbi too, just to get a 4-1 win. Because we know Brighton, even though we expected him to win, didn't score many goals.
What are your thoughts about
say
Brighton,
Pep, and then
guys,
four, Roy
like
Hodgson.
this season? Because
Can
you
they
know
score
what, man, I
goals?
can't lie to you, man.
Go on.
I don't know. You know, obviously they got Europa League football this season.
Oh shit, they are in Europa League. Yeah, you're right.
Like I'm wondering, you know, are they going to be able to handle it? You know what I'm saying? That Sunday, that's what I'm asking. What your thoughts are? Because
I mean, it depends. Like the Serbi, I think he already coached in Europe before. Oh yeah, he definitely did. He was with Shakhtar in the Champions League, I think.
oh yeah,
Europa League. So the manager is not the issue. To be fair to them, they have goals in their team. I mean, they scored like over 70 goals
yeah.
last season, so they have goals in them. I think the issue was more defending. Also, you lost both your key midfielders now, which is a big issue. But then again, you see Brighton already getting linked to new ones to replace them. So I'm expecting replacements to come in. It's whenever like because Thursday, Sunday, it's not a lot of time to recover and then also train, and then so it's gonna be interesting to see. Like but one thing I give Brighton is they have goals and mostly in every position most of the time. I think this more. I think they did sign a centre back though to bolster their defense.
Yeah, the Florentine and the centre back. Yeah,
and
I
they
know.
have a
Yeah,
new keeper as well. So it's gonna be interesting. Brighton. It's gonna be an interesting thing to see. And I mean, there's the first time Brighton ever was in Europe.
I presume so. I don't think they've ever been in
well,
Europe
yeah,
before.
because the reason why I ask this is because you know, usually you know the peaks. You know, what I mean the peak for a lot of these guys who do something similar to Brighton, whether it be a Fulham, whether it be a Burnley, or the old generation Burnley under Sean Dyche. Who else am I missing? There's a bunch of them essentially. Fulham, Burnley. My head's gone. The rest of them. I've lost the other ones that I think about. Leicester's another one, like etc. etc. Stoke was another one too that happened to where they will reach Europe and then that'll be their peak and then it just goes downhill from there.
But then again, then again, like I don't know. It's weird to call these dynamics because maybe they could, or maybe Europe actually fits them, where like they don't actually struggle that much as people think it is, and the way they play football, they're already first most of the time. Premier League teams just tend to be more physical and be more of a challenge for teams outside of Europe, and that you see Premier League teams the way they be playing in Europe as well. Not saying that it's going to be easy for them, but I think they can be fine. And I think the big reason why they're going to be fine is because of the striker rotation. Joe Pedro, Welbeck, and Ferguson is a really good thing, and they all score goals.
Interesting to
All
see
of
how João Pedro does, and if Evan Ferguson can
continue
to the hype. Yeah, if he can,
this thing that, and I mean,
hype, yeah.
100%. Because we talked about how the issue with him is not playing and not enough games, but this is the issue. I don't see him getting the game time. Definitely not. But the issue is that the guy has the quality even if he doesn't have the game time to score goals. But let's see, But it's gonna be interesting. Like I'm more worried about teams. To be fair, Newcastle they added goals to Harvey Barnes was definitely what they needed. If Anthony Gordon can show more this year, definitely we know what Wilson can do. We know what Isak can do. We know Tonali is also somebody that can chip in goals.
Tonali looked good, bro, from my attacking perspective, I would say. For sure,
Yeah.
even from defensively, of course.
Yeah, Bruno G can add goals. Jolinton can add goals. So they made sure they added goals to it. which is the funny part because Newcastle. We said
That was the
Newcastle
biggest
can't
issue.
score goals.
It's the
We talking
goals,
about
yeah.
last season, Newcastle not scoring goals, but they scored 10 more goals than United last season. And you wouldn't think that technically, like if you look at United fans, swap your attack with Newcastle's attack. I think a lot of United fans would have said no.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. The dynamic is very interesting at times. Like I think is this the first time Eddie Howe has been coaching in Europe as well?
Yeah, it is because he didn't do it under Bournemouth. Bournemouth never reached a European spot. If I'm not
Stage,
mistaken.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's what I'm saying. The dynamic.
But I honestly, listen. Big up to Newcastle. I think they'll probably drop to Europa League. I'll be real. I don't think they'll make out the group stages. Maybe
it
I'm
depends on
being
the
too
group.
harshest. Yeah, of course it depends on the group.
Depends on the
But
draw, though, innit?
I don't know, man. I just think
But they do have the atmosphere there. Like Champions
That
League
is true.
at Newcastle, fucking hell.
yeah, St James Park got to be rocking though. That's something I'll give them. But we'll see, man.
But the only thing that I would say is that where you could be right with the prediction is they are in the fourth pot. So if they're unlucky, they could end up in a group of death.
Oh yeah, and is it this week that's the UCL draw and stuff like that?
Yeah, and someone did ask, will I be doing a watch along for the draw? No, them draws are too damn long. I did
Yeah,
one.
We're gonna
I was
react
on
to
Irish channel a few years ago and never again. I thought it'd be quick and all. 2.5 hours later, I was still there. I'm not doing the Champions League draw. Yeah, it was crazy. Stream was hella long. Yeah, it was
I
nuts. Like, what's going on?
I know these draws be going on for at least an
Yo,
hour.
it's because they take time because they draw one group, then there's like they introduce some player or something like that, and then do some presentation and long ass speech. Then draw another group. They
Yeah,
take
they-
time.
They
Say
don't
again?
do players now. They only do 2 players now. That's it.
Is
They don't
it?
do,
Yeah, they just be there. Yeah, so no, but there will be a reaction because I presume it'll be a Tuesday. Is that Tuesday or is that Friday?
Friday.
All right. Well, anyways, because it's a Friday and it'll be midday. By the time we'll do the Q&A on Friday, so then we'll respond to it. So in regards to the draw, so you will get a reaction to the draw. So probably on the Q&A on that Friday, people. All right. Yeah, Eddie Howe's running away for this. He's got 50% of the vote. De Zerbi only 4%. So De Zerbi 4%. Eddie Howe 50%. Pep 36%. Roy Hodgson 80%. So yeah, we gonna end it on that note. So we'll run through the winners from this week, ladies and gentlemen. Big up to everyone who's supporting Sarcasm City TV as always. So most unforgettable goal was Isak's chip against Aston Villa. Most unpredicted result was Newcastle 5, Aston Villa 1. Most unacceptable error was Konzis, sticking with the Newcastle Aston Villa theme. Most under the Kosh manager was Emery, sticking again with that Newcastle Aston Villa theme. And then most untouchable manager, again sticking with the Newcastle Aston Villa theme, Eddie Howe. So it was all Newcastle and Aston Villa winners. Obviously, some of these categories you don't want to be a winner in, some of them you do. So I love to everyone that has locked in. Yeah, go on, fam.
And the winner of the most empty stats in game week 1 is Mason Mount of all zeros empty stats. Lovely jubbly.
I do gotta say quickly though. Shout out to I'm not a United fan, but shout out to the United fan that was probably in tune the pitch because if he didn't do that, maybe United would have lost that game.
Maybe. People were saying it was Cucurella. I was dying. Someone said it was Cucurella. You know what I'm saying? Who jumped on the pitch.
Wait, he wants to play for United now?
Maybe. Maybe it's like, yo, you took trash from Chelsea before. Why not take me? But we move. But like I was saying, yes, people,
you know what? Can I just say quickly about Mount? I know it's. I know I don't usually speak about him. Yeah, for sure, guys. Most Highlands not fair enough. My bad. It's all good. But on a rather serious note, right? Have you noticed, bro? People have forgotten about Mount, bro. Once Chelsea started again, everyone was looking nice and rosy. Yeah, have you heard about Mason Mount? But from Chelsea? No. That's the point. Like, listen, man. You know what I mean? That's what happens, man. You know, when these man, you know, were crying and everything, like 2 weeks later, I'm not hearing anything. Crazy, man.
Yeah, you're right. All right, cool. Love to everyone who has locked in. Big up.
About our man's. Fair enough, Ed. Fair enough, Ed. I'll stop after this, promise. I promise I'll stop after this, generally.
You know the jokers in it. Like normally I'd clap back. But it's like I'm not even clapping back. I'm not defending Mason Mount. I refuse to. I'm done defending this team pretty much. Like until someone goes too far, like it's like you lot deserve the shot, especially after that performance. Yes, we got the win that I'm over the moon about. But speaking of that, 4:30 p.m. UK time, Man Them United podcast, Manchester United show. So 4:30 p.m. myself and Ivorian will be recapping, answering all your questions more in depth than I've done today. So that's solely Manchester United. Then 9 p.m. I'll push it back to 9 p.m. fan calling show live on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. And that's open to anybody. So no matter who you support, doesn't matter what you want to talk about, feel free to come and call in because you lot got so much to say in the chat and I love that. So feel free to call in. That's over on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Then following that, which is the show I'm definitely looking forward to the most tomorrow. Manchester United Liverpool show, Mandem United podcast, analysis at Anfield podcast. You know that's going to be a goodie, especially adding on top if there's any truth to this Salah to Saudi Arabia links. But we will see.
That
but
can't
that's
be
at
happening,
midnight.
bro.
But we'll see. We'll see.
It can't be
Who would
happening.
hey,
If that
hey,
happens,
Chelsea?
bro,
Wait.
that's
Liverpool getting
crazy.
rejected. Wait. Liverpool getting rejected by Caicedo and Lavia. That wasn't expected. And look what happened.
Bro,
Exactly.
they're gonna have to offer a crazy bag. That's gonna be like a crazy bag to offer and them to get.
Man, we see more about it tomorrow though, or today. I would say.
We'll see. So all of these things are on the upcoming live stream schedule. I will write it on the community page as well. That's what I'm going to start doing every single day. I'll write the schedule for the day so you know what's coming up here on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube and on the Twitch. Check out the upcoming live stream schedules on both. Go download the Twitch app as create an account and then follow on the Twitch, because the same way you watch and comment on YouTube is the exact same on Twitch. YouTube, hit the like button on here. Only at 81 likes though. Let's bump that up, man. Way too low. Whether you're watching live right now or watching this back, hit the subscribe button on the channel. And I've already dropped all the audio platforms in the comment section as well. SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV. If you want to listen while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're at work, while you're on your way to work, you may be in the gym, or you might just not want to have the YouTube app open or Twitch app. You may just prefer to listen to your podcast in more traditional podcast means. That's absolutely fine. So SoundCloud, hit us with a follow button, please. Hit us with a follow on there. Spotify, you lot continue to listen on Spotify, so big up, hit the follow button, hit the 5-star us, please, on Spotify. 5-star us, it helps so much. Same way with the iTunes, I'm trying to really boost the audio platforms as well. So yeah, iTunes, make sure you 5-star us and leave us a review. And on top of that, subscribe to At The Bridge 258. The link is in the title. Ahmed's channel. Let them know what you got coming up, Ahmed. Let them know.
Tomorrow is just probably going to be a normal video. Once we get that Lavia, here we go. I don't know if I need to make a stream for Lavia. Here we go. I'm probably going to do.
Make one.
No.
Do it.
It's not going to do that.
Yes, do it.
All right, I'll do it. I'll make sure to do a stream.
People want to hear from you, man. Of course,
Fair enough. I'll make sure to do that, and I'll also do my usual transfer roundup anyway. That comes out around about 10 o'clock. Anyway, so there's one that's out just right now on Lavia, on Caicedo, and on Michael Elise, possibly Lewis Hall and Cucurella and others. You can come and check that out. I'm almost at 800 subscribers, so it's been a crazy weekend to say the least. So, it will be a pleasure if you guys can get me to 800 subs. So thank you very much.
How far short are you of 800?
I am literally 39 away.
39 away. There's over 100 of you lot in the building. Just click the link in the title right now at the Bridge 258. It opens up a new tab, and Ahmed should be there by the end of this week. You know what I'm saying? You should be at 800 subscribers, and then it's rolled to 900 and then 1,000. Expeditious, proud man. God salute you, man.
Hey, much appreciated.
God salute you, man. God salute you, man. You doing?
You know, I got this month alone. I got like 35k views.
See, I'm saying,
that's majority of the weekend. Hey man, much appreciated, man.
Deserve, man. 100% deserve. Love to see it, man. Ahmed out here, one of the most hardworking content creators out here, giving you great content. Glad you lot have enjoyed the show, though. Like Prime said, listen to us cook while you cook. Big up to Prime. Big up Jacob, United Spurs of America. Plenty of shows coming up. Watch alongs, the whole 9. You lot know the pattern. You don't know what it is. We are just getting started, and this has been doing the most Premier League Game Week 1 live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in. Actually, let me check who's live. This guy, I'm gonna see who's live before we close. If not, I'll just send you lot over to the Mandem United. Let me see if anyone's live real quick. Nope, nobody is live.
I'm safe my life too.
You joke, man. But yes, Premier League Game Week 1 doing the most live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.